the new untouchables. He is a recipient of numerous awards, including the Associated Press Managing Editor Award, the Louisiana Press, and the Editors Association Award. Just recently, he received the Louisiana Endowment for Humanities Award. Dr. DeSantis resides in lovely Terrebonne Parish. Allow me, please, to introduce the author of the Thibodaux Massacre, Dr. John DeSantis.
Thank you so very much. It is a great honor to be here tonight, and it's a great honor to meet Jack Conrad. One thing I wanted to mention, because it gets lost in the telling of this story sometimes, is that in 1887, only a few years before this club was given birth, the horrible things that happened in Thibodaux happened. But they happened because of a special moment in that history when thousands of people in Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes said, we're not going to cut your cane anymore if we're not treated properly, because we are free people. And the people who died in Thibodaux laid down their lives for that purpose. Now, Jack Conrad, as you've been told, was a very real person. And we have Jack Conrad to thank for being able to tell the story to the degree that we did. And I'm just going to take a few minutes just to tell you how that happened. Up until 2015, the only history we had of this event were the letters and a few things, mostly written by plantation owners, which were hardly objective, and by the newspapers of the time, all of which, except maybe for the New Orleans Pelican, were not objective. I tried for many, many years to find out more, and I kept trying and I kept trying. And finally, at Nichols State University, with their help, we found a box. And in that box were coroner's inquests, only a few of them. They didn't represent all of the people who died. One of the names on that list of people was a young man named Grant Conrad. Grant was a 19-year-old field worker, and I was able to find more about him through census documents and other things. Learned that he had a father named Jack. Now, 19-year-old field worker did not have much of a history, but ladies and gentlemen, Jack Conrad had a history because he had served in Abraham Lincoln's army, and those records are very well kept. In finding Jack Conrad's service record, we learned that there was a pension record that was very special. And here's why. In 1890, 3 years after the Thibodaux Massacre, Congress passed a law. And should I go ahead? Am I boring anybody with the history yet? We're good? Okay. Congress passed a law that said if you were a United States Army veteran, and if you were hurt after the war, you could get a special pension if you were unable to work, but you had to prove it. Jack Conrad was living in New Orleans at that time, no longer in Thibodaux, and he went to these claims examiners and said, yes, I was shot 4 times. My son Grant was murdered. And they let him give his sworn statement, and they found his statement true. and other people that the examiners spoke to, such as the Reverend Thomas Jefferson Rhodes of Moses Baptist Church in Thibodaux. They told the story of what happened, about how for 2.5 hours, people were shot down, pulled out of their houses. We were able to locate that pension file in the National Archives in Washington, D.C. And that helped us to tell the true story of the Thibodaux Massacre. And one of the reasons why Jack Conrad is being introduced to you all tonight is because it is he who helped tell the story. And the lesson for me in all of this was that sometimes when we're writing about people's ancestors, things that happened in the past, even though the stories have been lost for a while, they will be told when the dead are ready to speak. And they did. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. My thanks to Tracy Thibodaux for inviting me and for his wonderful family, the family of Jack Conrad, to have been so kind. And just have a wonderful rest of the carnival season, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. DeSantis. At this time, we acknowledge the presence of the